see. I don't like this here. Okay, hello again. Miss Luana. Miss Luana Real Talk. Okay. Oh boy, holidays make you think of different memories, you know. I know, thinking of these, like I said, Thanksgiving I did it solo. Um, Christmas Eve I done it solo. Christmas and also New Year's Eve and now New Year's Day. But it's okay. But I was just thinking today, what are some of the things that I remember on a fond memory, like picking a memory of each? I know on Thanksgiving, I used to love it when my mother be cooking, and I remember my son James like walking around, when the food gonna be done, you know. It's a lot of memories, you know, and I remember Satin used to always come and first thing in the morning on Thanksgiving, putting everybody on their camera, you know. Those were nice times. They were. Um, and then for Christmas, my most happiest memory around Christmas time, coming up from a kid all the way up to 1968, I think I was about 8 years old. Well, at that time, my grandmother, she would come here every Christmas. She lived 2,000 miles away, but every Christmas, Grandma was coming, and that was a special time. We were so happy, you know, and that's the time what I remember about Christmas. And I remember Christmas Eve, myself and my brother Don, we slipped up, we hid behind the couch, and we seen my father and my uncle bringing in toys. I don't want to talk about that too much because it's probably some children out there, you know, I ain't gonna spoil the fun. But we we were about maybe I don't know, maybe 5 and 6, and we found out what, you know. But that was all good. We was thankful for whatever we got, you know, and we didn't care if it was Santa Claus or Daddy or Uncle Freddie, you know what I mean, bringing it in. But that was that. And New Year's, like I said, I remember every New Year's, my father had a 38 snub nose special. He couldn't wait till New Year's so he could shoot that gun. That was funny too. But it's a lot of things, you know. I don't know. I'm just not really rambling, but I guess my thoughts are, you know. But I know God delivered me from a lot of dark seasons of my life. I would have never thought I would still be here. But I thank God for still being here, you know, in perfect peace. I have some health issues, but I guess God just keep them afloat, you know. I just thank God. I got a lot to be thankful for. You know, some people say, oh, I don't got nothing to be thankful for. If it ain't no more to be thankful that you still breathing, that's something big time to be thankful for. So, I don't know, but I do want to share about, this is 2026. And getting back on the subject about the dreams, you know, for 3 years now, maybe going on 4, New Year, I dream about deceased people every night, one or more, and that's a fact. And it ain't just like people say, oh, was this spooky? What was they saying? It ain't so much of what they said, it's just that they're there in my dreams every single night, one or more. And it's like we just like I'm talking to somebody when I'm woke. I mean, we are just doing stuff like they never passed away. That I never figured out, and maybe it ain't for me to figure it out. But as always, I know in the Bible, Joseph, he could interpreted dreams, and I always say I wish I meet up with a Joseph to help me, but maybe it ain't meant for me to know. I mean, I've been to pastors and other people supposed to know so much. Nobody knows. I don't know. Nobody knows. But one thing for sure and for certain, God knows. So I used to write about each dream, but it was just so often I stopped writing about it. But every night when I close my eyes and go to sleep, it's either one or more. Sometimes I wake up and say, oh, and then I think about it. Oh my, they did, he did too, or she did too. One night I woke up, I thought I ain't dreamed about nobody, and I sat there for a minute and thought about my dream. Everybody in my dream was deceased except me. I don't know. I know this TikTok goes all over the world, and I'm reaching out. Do anybody have an idea? Maybe God got a Joseph out there. It could be a Josephine. I don't know, but I wonder if anybody ever experienced anything like that, and if they did, what or did or didn't? What do you think? Why? Like I said, one lady told me, "Oh, when I dream about them, they're fighting me. They ain't fighting me." It's like two worlds, like when I go to sleep, see the one or more I'm with, deceased people in my dream, and then, when I woke, I'm alive, I'm around live people, but in my dream, it's like always they're alive. They're not laying there dead. They're alive. They're going on with their life, like it never happened. That's one thing that I have yet found out. Nobody seemed to know, but it's okay. Now, I got my nice plush robe on for my daughter, Michelle. And I'm going to get my nice plush electric blanket. And I'm going to see what I dream tonight. But I miss my loved ones that's gone, when somebody leaves, no matter how their death occurred, you're going to miss them when they're gone because can't nobody take their place. I miss my little great nephew Danny with his jokes, and my nephew Tyrone, his jokes. He could make me, he called me one time when I was taping stuff. He said, "Oh, you're Oprah." I said, "Oh my God." But it was like he wasn't even trying to be funny, and he could be funny. I miss that. Michael, I miss the music, Dawn, my brother Dawn, I missed the philosophy. Johnny, I missed his handiwork, and he always was ready to help somebody. He was a jack of all trades. And I missed my brother Junior. He was the oldest. He always thought he was my boss, but I missed that. I miss a lot. And I miss my bestie, Valerie Dixon. She was like a sister to me. She never had a sister, and I didn't. And God put us together, and I call that my God-given sister. And I miss my best friend, Penny Irwin. We cared about each other's kids like they were our own. She cared about my kids, and I cared about her kids. It's just so much, It's just so much to sit down and think about. Because when you think about it, look, God brought you through so much. And I think it's good to reflect so you can realize the handwork of God, how he brought you through so much. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't even look like you've been through that." Well, and they tell me, "Oh, how you do it, Miss Lou? You lost all 3 of your sons." Know why? Because I don't do it. I don't do it. God does. I asked God to help me from day one on May 11, 2001, when I stood over my first murdered son's dead body in the hospital, then James, and then Dawn. God been helping me all the while. I even spoke at my own son's funerals. That's because God put my mind on above. So I just want to say, if you want to get through something down here, put your mind on above. Because God is the one that can help you get through. And I ain't trying to preach, but everything I say, this is my story. It might not be your story. And I thank God for the church that I'm so acquainted with now, that Divine Restoration Church in Duquesne, 107th Street in Duquesne. Good word. Good word.